Electric Cafe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. Today's album review is on Margaux Gazur's full album called Blurred Memories, which came out on May 23rd, which is last week. I got a chance to review this album on Juno Records, and I thought, I'm such a big fan of Smallville Records. I figured I'd review it and bring it to the channel. I'm excited to hear this album. I'm a big fan of Smallville Records again. It started back when I was following Lawrence, aka Sten, back from Dial Records in the early 2000s, and his music, and then he started this label with Julia Stenhoff in 2006, and then I've just been following it from day one. I'm surrounded by some of the CDs that I had, Stephen Tang's, Moomin, some of Lawrence's stuff. You can see some of just a handful of the EPs that I have from the label. I probably have most of the label. I've been a big fan of the label. I love STL's work, Small People, RVDS. Just a wealth of great quality techno music and house music on this label with a touch of ambient, touch of psychedelic in there, just a touch, and just really quality listening, what I call listening music, good listening music of techno and house music. And I've been a real big fan of the label. And I got a chance to, talk with Julia Stenhoff, and just seems like a great guy as well. Also, Stefan Marks is the other label co-owner of the label, and you can instantly recognize their artwork, which is mostly like the ones in the white here on the EPs. Sort of has like a cartoonish but really catchy, well designed. It's kind of a very clever artwork they do, and then of course the label itself is a great logo as well. But yeah, we're gonna check out Margaux's album here. There's 7 tracks in total. Seems like they're pretty long tracks, so I'm probably just gonna play a sample of each track, maybe 2-3 minutes of each track, so you can get an idea of it. You'll see my score above the track, and then we'll reconvene, and I'll give you my overall thoughts on the album. All right, so let's check out the first track from Margaux Gazur's Blurred Memories, which is out May 23rd. Down below, you'll see a link for where you can purchase the music if you like it and support a great label like Smallville Records. right, so there we got a chance to check out each track, a sample from each one on Blurred Memories from Margaux Gazur on Smallville Records, which just came out on May 23rd, 2025, which was last week. As you can see from my scoring, very consistent album, really strong album. Really enjoy this album. This is the third time in the last 2 weeks I got a chance to listen to the full album since I first got a chance to review it for Juno Records online. When you look at my notes, if you see my how I do my scoring on the tracks, you can see that I gave three of the tracks an excellent score above an 8, and then also three tracks very good, which is above 7, and then also one track in the 6, which I thought was a good track as well. When I go to the individual tracks, it starts off with Agata, which really, in a way, kind of grows from it like grows from the deep, like it really kind of raises out of the depths and sort of almost gives you sort of it's almost like enjoying, it's like watching a painting getting made. Like it's uh very minimal, very like tones and colors are almost being created in this track. There's like the warm tones that become the focal point, and then there's like a broken down drum that slowly brings everything into focus. The vocal sample is really clever in there as well, but I just love the tones in here. It sounds like you're in like a peaceful garden. It's almost like they're almost like tones of like the sun rays and sort of this gentle feeling like if you're in a garden or something. I just really like the gentleness of this track and the pacing of the track. Really a good opener too. I give it an excellent score of 8 out of 10 stars. And then it goes right into Morning Ride, which is a perfect name for the track. It's easy on the ears, easy on the senses. It has elements of ambient, jazz, and dub. It sort of expands the sound palette on this sort of sublime going ride that you're going on. It's smooth, still has a nice groove. And it's really cool to hear, along with this album, it's really cool to hear something that is so laid back, but is still very techy in the rhythms and the grooves. And it's just a great example at the evolution of deep house, in my opinion. I gave Morning Ride a 7.5 stars as well. And then track number 3, This Is Always. Gave a 7.25 stars as well. Another very good track. This sort of extends the exploration. It's peaceful, light beat for the pacing, gentle warmth comes over you as you listen to it. And Marco hasn't forgotten that this is a dance album, still dance music album for the most part at Smallville. So it ramps up nicely in this track, especially the first 3 tracks in here as it gets to the 4th track as well. Just a uh, really good pace to the album, and it continues to just subtly get a little bit more rhythmic as the first 4 tracks, and into the 5th one, which is a little bit more dubby, just continues to just lightly sort of pick up the pace just a little bit in each track. And then it goes to one of my favorite tracks, track number 4, called Medake. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Um, just a beautiful techno gem. I just really love this track. It's great how heavy and driving the beat is when you listen to it, but it's balanced with such a deep and beautiful melody. Just an excellent, juxtaposition on the melody with the heavy kind of beat. Just really, really great balance. There's a touch of Detroit playfulness on the melody. It kind of reminds me of Lawrence, which is one of the reasons why I got a chance to first hear and fall in love with the music of Smallville Records through Lawrence's music. And this track stays in the sweet spot. I do feel like at the end there could have been like another melody sort of added on top, or maybe some sort of like accent to really take it over the top. But it sits in the sweet spot through the track, and it's a very subtle track, but it's still beautiful and excellent. And again, it ties for my favorite track on the album at 8 out of 10 stars. Just excellent, excellent album, or excellent track, excuse me. Then there's track number 5 called Sufu, which is a little bit more dubby, Some nice keys in there, pretty minimal, well produced, like the album itself, but maybe a track that doesn't necessarily kind of go anywhere, and that's okay. It just doesn't it isn't quite as good as some of the other ones for I think for the catchiness of the album, but in sort of a dubby way, it is still a really good track. So I gave it a 6.25 stars. And then the last two tracks, "Someday" and "Blurred Mirrors," Memories. "Someday" has a little bit of a shuffle beat to it, becomes pretty infectious in a house and a dubby way with the melody and the vocal. It's a great hook between the two, and they really kind of slowly become really addictive, and it sneaks up on you. And I think with the album being repeated a lot of times and listening to it, I feel like in the future, like it really sneaks up on you, might become one of the best tracks, and sort of a track that I feel like could have an opportunity for some remixes to sort of bring that house element out to it and become almost a jacking kind of acid house track that could be really cool because of those subtle hooks in it. And it's just I feel like it's a track that just gets better and better as you the more you listen to it. And I give that one 7.75 stars. But that one has the potential to get even higher as well. And also the last track I feel like is similar. "Blurred Memories," the title track, has a nice jazz feel. It's very sparse. Really like the tones in here. It gives me the memories of when I was really in the early 2000s, when I was in the late 90s, when I was really into like glitch ambient and some of the minimal kind of ambient records, like in the early 2000s, like on Millie Plateau and Raster Noton label, 12K Records, a lot of those kind of glitchy ambient records that were coming out of Germany, even on compact and stuff like that. It kind of almost reminds me of like Dan Abrams from Shuttle 358, but a little bit more on a house tip. So it's really, really cool balance there. But I really like how the tones sort of bend and become sort of whimsical and clever. It's just really an interesting, kind of gives the album sort of it almost like a weeping sound to the melody. How it's like so it just morphs and becomes really kind of whimsical in a way. It's really cool. There's some nice passages as well, and at 15 minutes, it needs a few passages to sort of, uh, develop the story in different parts in a way, and it gets a little bit more groovy, which is cool. But it's definitely at 15 minutes. It's definitely a trip. But in some ways, it perfectly bookends the album. Like if you have this album on repeat and this album plays out, and then you go back into the very start, just a really nice balance because I had it on repeat and it just really flows well with the start of the album. And so you take the trip all over. I give this track 8 stars as well. Um, Overall, just a great listening album. Really, really good album. Um, in some ways, it's an exciting venture into electronic mood music, and it fits in great with the Smallville style aesthetic. Not only with the artwork and but just the sounds and the pacing, and just kind of almost like this futuristic take of ambient and jazz on house and techno music. It's just really great listening. Whether you're hanging out, you know, in your chair at home, like listening to it, or you're driving on the road. Just a great album to relax to. And it almost feels like you're being surrounded by like some enchanted garden. Like there's some backgrounds, sort of voices here and there, and just some ambient touches, and you can definitely tell and appreciate Margot's love for ambient music because it really comes through in this album. It almost seems like an ambient album just with some techie pacing to the album. And because ambient is my favorite genre as well as I feel like hers is, this is right up my alley. When I add up the scores of the tracks, it comes to an average of 7.53 per track, so that's a 75 out of 100 for overall for the album. But I give it a few extra points as well for being a combination of well produced, paced, and also the potential of the album growing with repeat listens, and I really enjoyed the album, and I give it a 78 out of 100. It's on the high side of a very good album. I think over time, a few more years, it could sneak up into the excellent and really kind of open up because it's a deep album, very sparse, very minimal, very ambient, and with repeat listens and things like that, I feel like it could sneak up into the early 80s. But from a production standpoint, that's why I gave it a few extra points, and I feel like it's on the high side of a very good album, right on the edge of being an excellent album. It's right there, but really nice mood in the whole album, and really nice peaceful feeling, and just the remnants of house music in there. It's just almost in every track. It has this kind of like repetitive kind of house growing vibe in there that's just really deep and just balances so well with ambient and sort of a jazz feel, like a fusion of jazz and ambient and house music. Just really excellent album. Really impressed with Margaux, and this is the first time I'm hearing her music, so really excited to hear what she has in the future. If you like what you hear and you're interested in more from Smallville Records, I'll put the link down below for the label and their Bandcamp page so you can check out more. Definitely, if you like what you hear, you can definitely support Smallville. A lot of excellent music from Small People to Christopher Rao to Benjamin Brun to Stephen Tang to Moomin to STL is another one of my favorites on there, and of course Lawrence, as well as Julia Stenhouse. Excuse me, Stenhoff's. I was thinking Julius Stenhouse. He's a NASCAR race driver, but it's Julius Stenhoff, not Stenhouse. So yeah, excellent album. Really impressed by this album. And yeah, if you're interested, check out more from the label and check out more from Margaux. I'll also put her link below. But yeah, appreciate you taking the time to listen and support on the channel. All right, take care.
Cafe.